this meeting, we're talking about how this project will evolve, the concept of what we're doing and why we're doing this, the main goal we're trying to communicate, and the next steps we'll take to achieve that. So our main goal here is to establish Gitboarded as an authority and trusted on future opportunities and insights in the markets of future. And to achieve that, we need to have people to show people the amount of knowledge we have on this topic. To achieve that, we are aiming to redesign Gitboarded's hero, or the main part of the website, and replace the current static images with something more interactive and more communicative. What we're aiming to achieve is a data visualization that will be taking the main parts of the website from the start screen of the website. And we need this to be something people can shift between current market insights and future market insights. So it needs to be something that's a little interactive and that shifts and morphs based on both research fields and filtrations, as well as future and current data sets will build. And that, of course, will be connected to the database of opportunities on Gitboarded, and will be connected as well to some qualitative data that's supposed to be more informative and will show the visitors of the website more about what they can expect for future markets. So going back to this part of the website, we are aiming to have interactive data visualization that looks something like this, where we have a couple of axes, and these axes are sorted with, we're aiming for 20 clusters, something around the number of 20 clusters. It can be more, it can be less, according to the database we built.
Saja?
Yes.
Yeah, carry on.
Okay. So we're aiming to have a reasonable number of main clusters. They can be smaller clusters inside the main clusters, but for a simple and clean first impression, we're aiming to have them categorized into something that does not clutter the screen, but looks understandable from a first glance. And going back, once this is what we're aiming to achieve, and to get there, we have to collect some data sets. For the other section, we need to collect qualitative data, which is more of information, short articles, and similar on the topics of future growth, of our growth path, and the connections between current fields and future fields. So we're aiming to build two things: data set for the current markets and jobs out there, and another data set that talks about forecasts of future fields and future jobs and future markets. And the last step would be to build the relationships among these. So we need to have a clear connector between the current forecasts and the future forecasts to each one of our categorized clusters. Does that make sense so far?
Yes, carry on. I've muted everyone else.
Okay, so for the first section, we'll need statistics on the size of current job and career markets, and forecasts on the growth of these markets and emerging markets related to them. And we'll need to have a benchmark year or years for these forecasting. For the second section, we'll need to have more qualitative data on the sorted fields we decide on, emerging markets that might not be in the current version but will be in the future forecast version, and career paths related to these, and then the connectors we just discussed on how to connect these two things. From our side, the next step would be to collect the data itself, sort it into main categories and try to limit them so that this is not a cluttered visualization. And then we need to analyze the data to build a database that can be visualized in a reasonable way for our website. For the forecasting data, we need the same qualitative data so we can match and then match them to the fields database in a way that can be morphed. So it's something that when visualized, user can morph from current to future without too big of a shift in the visualization. And the relationship network. And at the end, we need the qualitative data and information for the overviews, which should be paragraph for each of our categories. The last step would be to explore styles and visualization sets and see how we can, through visualization libraries and other tools, to design and develop and employ this. I'm also sharing with you two links here. One is for a small study that, based on personality, is assigning um, fitting future jobs. The other one is an analysis done by the World Economic Forum on how jobs are going to shift and grow up to 2020, I guess, 2022. They can have important insights and be a nice guide to how we're going to sort this and how we're going to handle the data.